On the evening of September 1, 1859, the sky over the United States began to glow. At first, people in Boston thought it was a distant fire. In New York City, crowds gathered in the streets, staring upward as waves of crimson, green, and violet light rippled across the heavens. Farmers in the Midwest woke up thinking dawn had arrived early. In the Rocky Mountains, gold miners dropped their tools in fear. The sky wasn't burning, it was dancing. What Americans were witnessing that night would later be known as the Carrington Event, the most powerful solar storm ever recorded in modern history. And it nearly changed the world. The man who saw it coming. Just one day earlier, a British astronomer named Richard Carrington was observing sunspots through his telescope. Suddenly, he saw an intense flash of white light erupt from the surface of the sun. It lasted only minutes. He had just witnessed the first recorded solar flare. What he didn't know was that a massive cloud of charged solar particles, what we now call a coronal mass ejection, was racing toward Earth at unimaginable speed. 17 hours later, it hit. When telegraphs turned to fire. In 1859, America wasn't powered by electricity like it is today. There were no power grids, no satellites, no internet. But there was one critical technology, the telegraph. And that's where things got terrifying. Across the country, telegraph operators reported sparks flying from their equipment. Some machines caught fire. In some offices, operators received electric shocks. Even more shocking, some telegraph systems kept operating after their power supplies were disconnected. The storm had electrified the Earth's atmosphere so intensely that the telegraph wires themselves carried enough current to transmit messages without batteries. Imagine unplugging your phone and it's still working. That night, the invisible shield around Earth, the magnetosphere, was violently disturbed. Charged particles slammed into the atmosphere, creating auroras so bright they were visible as far south as Cuba and Hawaii. In places like New Orleans, people read newspapers outside at midnight by aurora light alone. A beautiful warning. At the time, most Americans thought it was a strange but beautiful phenomenon. Newspapers described heavenly fireworks. Some believed it was a sign from God. But in reality, it was a warning. Because if the Carrington event happened today, the consequences would be catastrophic. What would happen today? Fast forward to the 21st century. America now depends on electricity for nearly everything. Power grids, GPS systems, air traffic control, internet infrastructure, banking networks, emergency services. A solar storm as powerful as the Carrington event could overload transformers across the national grid. Satellites could fail. GPS could shut down. Airlines might be grounded. Water systems could stop. Some experts estimate that a direct hit today could cause trillions of dollars in damage and leave parts of the country without power for months. In 1989, a much smaller solar storm knocked out power in Quebec within 90 seconds. And in 2012, NASA later revealed that Earth narrowly missed a massive solar eruption, one as powerful as the Carrington event. If it had erupted just 1 week earlier, our planet would have been directly in its path. We missed disaster by days. The science behind the storm. The sun operates on an approximately 11-year solar cycle, swinging between quiet and highly active periods. During solar maximum, sunspots multiply, solar flares and coronal mass ejections become more common. When these eruptions are directed at Earth, they can cause geomagnetic storms. Most are minor, but every so often the sun unleashes something extraordinary. Scientists now constantly monitor the sun using space-based observatories. Early warning systems can give us anywhere from 15 hours to a few days of notice before a major storm hits. But there's a problem. Even with warning, large power transformers, some weighing hundreds of tons, can't be easily replaced. Many are custom-built and take months to manufacture. If enough of them fail at once, recovery could be slow, very slow. The human side of the story. Imagine this scenario. It's a normal weekday in America. Phones suddenly lose signal, traffic lights go dark, ATMs stop working, airplanes are rerouted, hospitals switch to backup generators. Then those generators begin running low on fuel. Within hours, confusion spreads. Within days, supply chains falter. Within weeks, life feels unrecognizable. All because of a star 93 million miles away. The good news. Scientists, engineers, and government agencies are not ignoring the threat. The United States has invested in space weather forecasting. Utility companies are studying how to harden the grid. Satellite operators are developing protocols. Space weather is now considered a national security issue. And unlike hurricanes or earthquakes, we actually get advance warning. The key is preparation. Why this story matters. The Carrington Event wasn't just a strange night of glowing skies. It was proof that Earth is not isolated from the forces of space. We live under the influence of a powerful star, one that gives us life, warmth, and energy, but also one capable of disruption. The night the sky turned red over America was more than a spectacle. It was a reminder. We are connected to the cosmos in ways we're only beginning to understand. And sometimes the most beautiful light show in history is also the loudest warning. Final thought. In 1859, Americans looked up at the sky in awe. If it happens again, we may look down at our darkened cities and realize how fragile our modern world truly is. The sun rises every morning without fail, but one day it might send us another